Well, I mean, dang, you missed 2 episodes and people are having the relations, okay, in a bar bathroom during a funeral. And no, that is not a thing. Calvin. Janine. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Stalk by GG 101. Today is Thursday, which can only mean one thing. It is time for a recap, review, whatever, the Sirens. So, it has been a while. And I know this because you guys have let me know that it has been a while. And I'm really sorry about that, life. I had my birthday, and then I had finals, and here we are, Robert. I watched all 3 episodes, including tonight's finale, all back to back. So for the last 3 hours, it has been Siren, Siren, Sirens. So, a lot has happened that we need to talk about, and I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible so we can just get into the feels of everything, because tonight was the finale, and it left us on a greater cliffhanger than CSI Miami ever did. And Lord knows, for the last, 5 seasons of CSI Miami, they kept leaving it on a cliffhanger. Until the cliffhanger was that the show was never coming back. Burp. So, basically, Xander and the crew gave this BS story about the dad getting tangled up in a net to cover up his murder, even though he was murdered by, the famous Jed Jackson Siren Man. And now, Ren is starting to learn more about humans and learning the similarities, and really starting to question whether she is really a human or whether she's a siren. Because after that incident, Ben started to look at her a little bit differently, and she could sense that, and she was feeling a little weird. So they have this funeral, and they have it at the tavern bar, and Ren goes and she apologizes to Xander, and Xander realizes that she's one of them because she pretty much said that she was. Xander jumps up and he goes and he is ready just to like take her life away because she is a siren. And Ben and Maddie grab him and was like, we need to talk, and they finally tell him about Ren and all this other stuff. And obviously Xander is pissed. Meanwhile, back in the bathroom of the tavern, Janine and Asian boy, which we now know is Calvin, it only took the whole entire show for me to get his name, we're doing the brown chicken brown cow, okay, in the bathroom. And it was just like, it's a thing. It's not a thing. It's not. So just it's disrespectful and disgusting. And a little disturbing that, a funeral would turn you on in that way. But I'm not here to judge. So that was a thing. Then we move on to the next episode, and that is where Donna comes back, and she comes back with the famous Jet Jackson Siren Man, and now another Asian, a female Asian siren chick, and apparently she's the ringleader, and they go back to get Ren, or at least that's what Donna thought was gonna happen. And they go to Helen because Helen knows everything, and Helen's all like, what if Ren doesn't want to go back to the ocean? Oh, let me do my Helen impersonation. Helen was all like, and what if Ren doesn't want to go back to the ocean? And then the famous Jed Jackson man, hemmed her up, grabbed her by the throat, and I was ready to fight somebody. Because don't nobody treat my Helen like that. We don't play them games. You don't play with Helen. You play with Helen, you meet the Merpod Squad. We don't play them games. So they're running around land trying to find Siren, trying to find Ren. They find Ren, and they're like, Donna's like, it's time to go. And Ren is all like, no, sister, I don't want to go. And then, the Asian chick and the famous Jed Jackson try to attack her. And then they realize they don't really want to bring Ren back. They want to actually rid her of the world because she has basically pledged her alliance to the humans and not to the Merpod. So, well, to the Siren Squad. Because that's not the Merpod actions. To the Siren Squad. And now they want to get rid of her. And, Xander finds out that they're on land because Ben tells him, and he goes with a shotgun ready to just like kill all of them. And Ren, because Donna realized they were trying to kill Ren, so Donna helped Ren get away. And Ren was like, we'll help you find him because maybe this is the only way that like we can get rid of them. So, with all that being said, Xander shows up. This guy and this chick, you know, they fighting Maddie's dad. He's throwing spears that we had seen in Helen's store when they first went in there. It was crazy. Maddie's dad gets hit with a spear, and essentially Ren goes after the Asian chick, beats her up, and she becomes the dominant Siren. So now she's somehow the leader, and she tells them, this is done. I'm the new leader, and I'm telling you that this is done. While all this is going on, Xander shows up out of nowhere, and he goes to shoot him, but Ben jumps and, like, doesn't jump in front of him, but, like, pushes him, and then a gunshot goes off, and we don't know who was hit, but we knew somebody was hit, and of course it was Donna. Of course it was Donna. So they can't take her to the hospital for obvious reasons. They take her back to Helen's house. And then they call Decker because Decker's the only person who can help her. Decker, who's been cracked fiend out for her song since like episode 2. Like, it's ridiculous. So he goes and he helps her, and he basically still, does anybody else find this weird that he's carrying around the sample of her? He's carrying it around, and he like basically injects it back into her, and at first she's starting to do well, and then of course she gives Ren a heartfelt compliment like, you were always strong and you're good. And then of course she flatlines. She doesn't really flatline, but her heart begins to drop. She begins to go into convulsions, and Ren basically gives her a hug in a very suffocating way to end her life so that way she wouldn't be in pain anymore. So she's gone. Decker walks off in this cracked fiend, oh my god, my drug dealer is gone kind of a phase. And he walks out to the edge of the water, and we all know what was gonna happen. He did it. He committed suicide. So now that leads us all the way to tonight's episode. So tonight's episode pretty much piggybacks, because I feel like all 3 episodes just hardcore piggybacked off of each other. I mean, every episode piggybacks off of each other, but this one just really hardcore piggybacked off into each other. And tonight's episode focuses on Ben, and Ben having this addiction to the Siren song. Ren, you know, she's sitting with Helen and Maddie at the diner, and she talked about the Siren song, and Helen was just kind of telling them, you know, the Siren song can either mean true love, or it can be a euphemism for obsession. So she told them that she sang the Siren song at the funeral because Ben asked her to, and Maddie had already said before that he was acting really, really weird. She blames him for her father being injured because she felt like he was acting irrational, and Ben is just acting like a crack fiend, and he goes to his dad because I don't know why I'm smiling. This isn't a smiling moment. But he goes back to his dad to confront him about something that Helen said. So basically, once Donna had passed away, she was like, I can't take her into the water because they're going to reject her. They're not going to let her stay there, basically, like the other sirens. And Helen takes them into, like, this deep, deep, deep part of the woods where it's, like, Pride Rock on water. And she's like, this is where my ancestors are buried, and she can be buried here. And Ren was all like, no, sister would not want to be married with humans. And she's like, they're not humans. And then everybody finds out that Helen is a siren. However, I'm not accepting this BS, because basically Helen is only a siren because she's like 3,000 people down the line of being a siren, and she can never, ever, ever transform into a mermaid. And like, I don't agree with that, and I'm not accepting that. Sirens, I'm not accepting that freeform. You're gonna make Helen a real mermaid, because that was just BS. She's like an honorary mermaid. No! I'm not accepting that. I had a moment. Sorry. So Helen sits there and she tells him the whole entire history of you know, her family and her culture. And she basically says to Ben that they're, well, she doesn't say to Ben, but Ben from the story realizes that they're related. Because, like I said, I either said it on Twitter or I said it in a video, but I did say that Helen was somehow linked to that marriage from the beginning, you know, where it was like the guy fell in love with the Siren and then there was the genocide. That was one of Helen's ancestors. So she's actually the last living ancestor from that side of the family. So she's actually related to Ben. Ben goes, circling back around, Ben goes to confront his dad, and his dad is all like, listen, you already know how our family is. You already know that this is not the kind of stuff that we would want to get out. So, like, why are you even acting surprised that you didn't know that Helen was related to you? And Ben is all like, Dad, like, I've had a relative that I've known my whole entire life, and, like, you never said why. Like, Ben just really irked me because I just felt like his dad was being 100% honest. It's like, Ben, you already know how we are, so why would you just think that we would tell you something like that? What? So he was just like, listen, it is what it is. Like, we ain't telling nobody. We will never tell anybody. That's just how it goes. So he was like, you know what? Obviously taking you away from the water and having you sit behind a desk was just really selfish, and you need to go back to the water. And Ben was like, you know, I think you're right. So Ben gets on a boat, doesn't tell anybody, just gets on a boat. And of course, when Maddie and Ren go to look for him, you know, frickin' Jerry tells them that he took a boat and just went out. He's in the middle of the ocean. He was scuba diving. I don't understand why the Sirens did not catch him while he was scuba diving, but they. And all of a sudden, he starts hearing Ren's song. He starts spazzing out. Like, he's hearing Ren singing. This boy jumps into the water and just starts, like, swimming, trying to find her, trying to save her, right? Ren wasn't there. But somehow Ren knew that he was in trouble, so Ren swam and saved him. And he was like, I heard your song. Why were you down there? And Ren was confused AF. Ren was like, I wasn't down there. When, like, she was confused. And so they get back to land, and Maddie's all like, why are you acting like this? You're acting like my mom. You're being distant. I know what this means. So Maddie and I were sharing a lot of moments and feels in that one scene. Okay. Anyway, so she was like, I think I just need to stay with my dad for a little bit. So Maddie leaves, and Ben's like, but Maddie, you know I love you. And Maddie's all like, yeah, I love you too. Like, I'm gonna need for you guys to just stop with that saying I love you, thinking that that's gonna get you out of trouble each and every time, because it just won't. I'm just like, you know that. Just, you're not gonna get out of trouble just because you say I love you. Doesn't work that way. Sorry. So she leaves him, goes back to her dad. Ren comes in and was like, my song is dangerous. I did not know it was dangerous. I am going to leave and stay with Helen. And so she leaves him, so Ben is just by himself. So the cliffhanger of everything is we have no idea what's going to happen with that. Oh, back on the ranch, Calvin wanted to freaking move Janine in with him and Xander, but Xander was like, nah, like, well, not even. Xander was just like, that's just going to be kind of weird, and he didn't really know why things were so weird between him and Janine. Come to find out, Xander and Janine had slept together while her and Calvin were just kind of fooling around, but Xander didn't know that it was that serious, and Xander called him out on it. Xander was like, Calvin called Xander out on it. He was super upset. But my thing is, just honestly, as a human being, just seeing both sides of the story, you can't just get mad at Xander. Like, I get it, that's your homeboy. But at the end of the day, like, you should be mad at Janine because Janine knew that she was with you and she slept with Xander anyway. What Janine should have done would have been like, yo, you need to get your boy. You need to get your mans because he's coming at me hard body. But Janine didn't do that. So you're going to be mad at Xander. You got to be mad at Janine too. Like, that's just common sense. Like, I'm just saying. So Calvin's all upset, he's drunk, he like has no money, and Janine is all like, you need to get your life together. And Xander is all like, Xander, why do I keep saying Xander? Excuse me. Calvin is all like, don't worry, I got something figured out. Because, you know, Calvin just thinks he's hood. But you live in a town called Bristol Cove. You cannot be that hood. Just saying. So we see him Google the number for a newspaper, and then we see him dial it, and he goes, yo, I think I got this story that your editor would be, like, interested in. I don't even know why he was talking like that. Calvin, why were you talking like that? So there goes your cliffhanger. And then it was just like season 2 Sirens 2019. Like, first of all, 2019, there's 12 months in 2019, 365 days in 2019, 364 if we don't have a leap year, or if we have a leap year, however that thing goes. Okay, I'm just saying that was a little vague. I'm gonna need a little bit more detail about when season 2 is coming out, because I need to know what's gonna happen. Oh, and then, other cliffhanger. While Maddie goes to her dad's house, because this was truly the last cliffhanger, like the ending of the series cliffhanger. Maddie goes to her dad's house, the phone rings, and all you hear is Maddie, and I couldn't place the voice. I'm like, who's calling her? And then you just see Maddie's face go ghost, and she's all like, Mom? Sirens, you got me in a tizzy. So that is basically what happened in all 3 episodes. How are we doing on time? Dang! 16 minutes. I was trying to make it less. Alright. That's not bad. 3 episodes in 15 minutes? Not bad. Oh, and did I tell you? No, I didn't. Chris, our boy Chris was like, yo, screw this. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. So Chris left to go to Iowa, I think he said, or Idaho. Some Midwestern place with his cousin. He's moving. He's gone. Bye. So much. I think it was too much watching all 3 episodes back to back. I'm not even gonna lie. It was just very overwhelming. And I know you guys wanted me to do a theory video, and I had every intention on doing it. And just so many things has been going on. Just so many things, personally, outside of YouTube, has been going on, and I'm really sorry about that. However, I'm just really mad that they, like, really built it up like Helen was a mermaid, for it to be, oh, she's a mermaid that's like 3,000 years down the line, so like the genetics isn't even still really there. Like, I'm confused. And then what about the psoriasis that, you know, Donna discovered, which was how we even realized that she was a mermaid in the first place? Well, In Your Face realized she was a mermaid, because I always knew she was a mermaid, but like, it's just, I don't even know, you guys. Like, honestly, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this series, I really do. But I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling overwhelmed, and maybe I should have let everything settle in before I sat down and do this video. But I just feel overwhelmed. I feel like a lot is happening. And I will say, one of the things I love about Sirens, if you really pay attention to Sirens, and if you know even the smallest scope about politics and history, you would see just how symbolic this show really is. Because Ren said that she needed to get herself situated when she told Ben she was going to live with Helen, because she's no longer accepted in her home of the ocean. Didn't matter, she doesn't want to be there anymore anyway, but she's no longer accepted there. She doesn't really have a choice anymore. So now she has to stay on land. So, like, to me, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I thought about Emily Blunt talking about giving up her citizenship to the UK to become a US citizen, and the things that they make you say when they swear you in and things like that. So it's just, there's that, talking about genocide, how people get their facts wrong, and it causes like this big controversial issue and causes hatred based off of he said, she said. Like, there's just so much politics and history symbolism in the show that it's insane. And I give the creators of that show such props, because it is a really good show. I feel like it has completely broken the cable box for me. It's broken Freeform. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next on Siren. But I'm saying, you know, Donna's gone. You down one black mermaid. If you need another one, I could be available. Just saying. But that is all that I have for you guys today. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, or if you enjoyed me and you want to see more from me, then you know what to do. You need to be part of the JG Meister Mer Pod and come swimming with us on all of our adventures. How might you do that, you're probably thinking? Well, it's simple. All you have to do is rate, comment, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Loves and likes ya. Bye for now.